Did you know that there are 70 uncontacted tribes in the Brazilian Amazon? Pretty interesting. In this speech, I will take you through a journey into Brazil's beautiful culture. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been fascinated with the Amazon rainforest, which happens to be spread over 9 countries, with the majority being found in Brazil. First, I will tell you some basic information that you may or may not know about Brazil. Second, I will talk about the culture, such as their food, music, religion, and things of that nature. Lastly, I will talk about Brazil's communication behaviors. When looking at the map, it is pretty easy to spot out Brazil, considering it is the largest South American country. According to Brazil Geodata, the World Geographical Encyclopedia, Brazil is about 3,200,000 square miles, bordering almost every South American country. The developing country is home to 208 million citizens, with the majority of them speaking the native language, Portuguese. Interestingly enough, according to the article Brazil by Culturegrams Online Edition ProQuest 2020, Brazil has the largest cohesive community of Japanese outside of Japan. The president of the Federative Republic of Brazil is Jair Bolsonaro. He controls all 26 states of Brazil and the federal state Brasilia, which also happens to be the capital of the country. If you look at the Brazilian flag, you will notice a blue globe with 27 stars. These stars represent the states and Brasilia. If the stars are in the pattern they were in the day independence was declared. In the cities, you will notice that many people travel by car, bus, train, or any other type of public transportation offered by Brazil. Sadly, right now, we know that the coronavirus is affecting countries all over the world, and Brazil is not an exception. According to the article Brazil Coronavirus Map and Case Count, published by the New York Times, updated May 30th, 2020, Brazil's COVID case is at an astonishing 465 cases with nearly 28,000 deaths. Many of the COVID hotspots are in the country's most populated areas, such as Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Many people know that Brazil is known for housing 60% of the Amazon rainforest, but many forget about their influence in art, music, and other things. Brazil is a rather religious country, with 95% of their citizens being a part of the Roman Catholic Church. Included in the 7 Wonders of the World is the statue called Christ the Redeemer. According to the book Culture and Customs of Brazil by George Woodyard in 2003, the statue of Christ is one of the seventh freestanding statues in the world. This statue overlooks Brazil's populated city known as Rio de Janeiro. Ever thought about traveling to Brazil? Well, if you have, visit one of Brazil's beautiful beaches. Try taking a stroll through Rio de Janeiro's beach known as Copacabana. Or maybe try stopping in at a local restaurant and trying an authentic Brazilian dish. In the book Culture and Customs of Brazil, the national dish is feijoada, which consists of black bean stew served with meat, rice, and hot sauce on the side. If you're in the mood for something sweet, try a bolo de rolo, which is a Brazilian roll cake. Brazilians take their mealtime very seriously because they get to enjoy their delicious food and enjoy the company of their friends and family. In Brazil, it is very common to use gestures when communicating with others and expressing yourself. For example, according to Gestures by Culturegrams Online Edition ProQuest 2020, one may tap their finger horizontally under their chin to say that another person is being dramatic or they do not know what they're talking about. The common gesture known as okay in America is actually offensive in Brazil's culture. Standing close to the person that you're talking to and even touching them every so often is very common as well. Another interesting fact is that Brazilians are polychronic and believe time must bend to the needs of people. In the book Culture and Customs of Brazil by George Woodyard in 2003, official dinners and ceremonies with people of higher power usually always start on the time indicated on the invitation. However, parties, dinners, concerts, and things like that usually start 30 minutes to an hour later, and there is no exact end time. Although Brazilians are often outgoing and enjoy having conversations, they are a country of indirect communication. They usually avoid conflict when possible, so they usually pay attention to body language and expressiveness when communicating with someone else to understand how they are feeling. First, I told you about basic information about Brazil. Second, I told you about Brazilians and tourists and what they enjoy about Brazilians' culture. And finally, I told you about how Brazilians communicate with one another. Brazil is much more than just the Amazon rainforest. It is a country full of unique culture and diverse communities.